Oh, no, no, no. You're not experiencing deja vu. This has happened 12 months ago. The Betrayal of Fendi Part 2. Or as I like to call them, Fendi Judas Roma. Okay? Let's get into it. Get a coffee, get a drink, because this is one of my infamous rant videos. But before I go fully unhinged, if you are new here, my name is Connor, and on my channel I like to talk about all things luxury. So if that's something you're into, I'd love it if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell button down below. And if you are returning, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you don't know what I'm referring to with the first betrayal by Fendi, it was this time last year, July 2023, with Bag of Stick Gate. Now, if you're not fully aware still of what I'm talking about, I'll run some clips just to refresh your memory. It will be a freaking funeral for the hopes and desires of the Fendi bag that I was lusting over. They have it running on the walkway, walking on the runway, that's what I meant, in fucking wicker, okay? I nearly had a fucking aneurysm when I saw this, because the bag is expected to cost 10,500 Australian dollars. 10,500 Australian dollars. Now, when I asked the sales associate why the bloody hell is it costing $10,500 for a fucking bag made of sticks, he told me that it's because it's a part of a collaboration. And this ain't exotics. This is natural materials, which should be fucking cheaper because you can go cut down a tree for free. Yeah, do you remember that? Because I certainly have not forgotten. And funnily enough, history repeats itself, and we are back in this same position with the same bag in another variation where I have been let down by Fendi. Now, I don't want to play the blame game, but all my fingers are pointing at you, Kim Jones. Okay? Not only have you put out snooze collections with all of the places that you're creative directing, you have betrayed me personally, once again, and I am not happy. Okay? Now, whenever the fall winter for 2024 runway show for the men's collection walked, I watched it in real time. I watched every waking minute of it. I saw all of those little boys marching and stomping up and down the runway, carrying all of the winter bags, and I was like, oh, I like that. Oh, I also like that. What's this? Is this a soft trunk baguette? But which material's that in? Is that shearling? I think it is. Guys, I was in love. Now, I have a soft trunk baguette up there in the black, and I've been wanting to add a new one into my collection for over a year now. And I didn't just want any old one, I wanted a special one. Now, with Bag of Sticks Gate, obviously that was what I first wanted. And with that bag, even though it cost $10,500, it never went in production. So even if I could have muscled up the courage to put the card in the EFTPOS machine to purchase $10,500 worth of sticks, I couldn't because they never even made it. Which leads me to this video. Yeah, I think you know exactly where this is going. So, after watching that runway show, absolutely falling in love with this shearling soft trunk baguette, I was like, ooh, you know what? That would really hit the spot. This is what I'm wanting. And I thought, surely they'll make it, right? Like, shearling isn't an expensive fur. It's very, you know, run-of-the-mill. And I thought, this one's a slam dunk. Ignorance was clearly bliss. So, I knew that this kind of bag, assuming that it was going into production, naively assuming, I just assumed that if this bag was getting made, it wouldn't come to Australia because our season runs the opposite to the Northern Hemisphere. So we really wouldn't get allocated like a fur kind of bag like this in summer because it just wouldn't make sense, or like spring going into summer. So I knew that this would be a job for the European sales associates to, you know, make some magic for me, okay? So maybe 4 or 5 months ago now, I have a Fendi sales associate in Germany who I, you know, follow on Instagram. Every now and then we'll send a few photos back and forth of just Fendi things, you know, that normal kind of camaraderie you have with the sales associates. But I said to this sales associate, I'm interested in this soft trunk baguette. Do you know any information about it? And he said, actually, I do. I've seen them at the kind of showroom that they do after, like in between when the season would start and after the fashion show, there's like a period where samples and stuff are put in a big showroom. All of the sales associates go and have a look at it. There's indication of price, yada, yada, yada. I don't know the technical term. I don't know if it's like a pre-buying thing for the store. I don't know, because I actually don't work at Fendi, contrary to belief. But yeah, so he had said, look, I've actually seen the samples. There was like 3 or 4 different colors. And there was like a price indication of, I think it was 2,500 euros, which would be like, I don't know, 4,500 Australian dollars. Perfect. No worries. Sounds good to go. Perfect. And then he said, when it gets, you know, time for the store allocations, or we get the list of all the stuff that's coming to the store or going to production from that fashion show, I will let you know. And I was like, perfect. Now, in my little innocent brain, I was like, well, if they've got like 3 or 4 samples in different colors, the price point isn't exorbitant, you know, winter in Europe, it's a third, like easy, like it's just going to be one of those things I'll do sort of thing. Not like the bag of sticks thing where, like, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, a little bit more intricate, you know, higher price point. I can see why that wouldn't be something that would ultimately go into production looking back on it. But with this one, I thought, no, we're good, we're safe. So anyways, the months are going by, the weather's getting different, the seasons are changing, and I reach out again asking about this bag. You guys know where it's going, this story. You already know. So I ask, you know, how's it looking with the old soft trunk baguette in the shearling? What are we looking at? When's it coming? Yada, yada, yada. And he goes, it hasn't been allocated to like the first fall winter drop. It hasn't been allocated for the second fall winter drop. So it must be coming in like the last kind of drop, which I think from memory was like October. And I'm thinking, going, yeah, this isn't looking good. My heart was starting to break, but I thought, no, no, no. Again, I don't work for Fendi. I don't know how they do their things. This must be like a normal, you know, BAU process, okay? But no, no, no. As we got closer and closer, I got the devastating message that the bag was never going into production. Not going into production! Like, now, I don't want to play victim, and I don't want to make this thing about my victim complex, but surely Kim Jones has purposely done this to me. He saw my video about bag of sticks, okay? He knew that I wanted this bag, and he got me good. So now, we're 12 months down the track from when the original Bag of Sticks skate happened. 6 months after Bag of Sticks, that's when I kind of got interested in the shearling soft trunk baguette. That's when I was kind of like, okay, Fendi are redeeming themselves, they're giving me something I like, and now we're at the 12-month point, and I'm down 2 bags, basically. Heart is broken, down 2 bags. And the cherry on top of the cake, right, the absolute salt in the wound, the kick to the broken bone is, in 2025, so next year, it is the 100th year of Fendi, okay? So you're thinking, wow, like 100 years of Fendi. They're gonna be bringing out bags that are gonna be absolutely jaw-dropping. They're gonna be intricate, they're gonna be sexy, they're gonna be all of it. No, you'd be wrong, because I've watched, along with all of you, that men's collection walk for it, and putting it politely, it was atrocious. Let's go through that, shall we? While we're on the topic of kicking Fendi's dog wallets down, let's go through that collection. Now, we'll start off with the baguettes, okay? And you're thinking, oh, you know, a baguette, you know, pretty simple in its design, not a lot that could go wrong. Oh, very naive of you to think that. I show to you the kitchen from the 90s splashback behind the stove baguette, okay? It has got sample tiles galore. You know when you go into like Bunnings or Home Depot and you see all the little tile samples or all the little paint samples and you think, wow, like I'm overwhelmed. Like, do I want eggshell? Do I want purple? Do I want blue? Well, this bag's got it all. It is Home Depot on a strap. What in the unhinged is going on here? Like, is that what 100 years of Fendi, and I'm given that? Like, I know I am not the pinnacle of style. I know that I am not, you know, what I say goes. But you cannot find me one person that looks at that bag and thinks, oh, I want to buy it. Not one person. And if you are that person, please stop watching my channel. But in all seriousness, like, it's not, no. Like, no. It looks like this is what I first think of this blue one. You know when Lego, like, they bring out, like, a Lego creation of something that already exists? Like if Lego were to make a Birkin and then, you know, it's all a bit Lego-y, so it's like you're not expecting it to actually look like a Birkin. You think, oh yeah, it'll be like Birkin Lego version where it's very like rigid and like Lego-y. This is what this reminds me of. But it's not Lego, it's actually Fendi. Like, did Fred Flintstone request this? Like, this is what it's giving, the Flintstones. Bag of Flintstones. Seriously, like, I'm baffled. Absolutely baffled. But wait, it gets worse. We move on to the Peekaboos. Now, the Peekaboo example that we're sadly dealing with is the same size bag as my made to order there, and it has this crest on it. Now, a lot of you have probably seen this bag on the socials when the show had run and we were all on the same page. It is so tacky. Now, this shield thing that is on there is the most juvenile looking thing I've ever seen. It literally looks handmade. Like, and I know art is subjective, I know fashion is subjective, but this is objectively vile. Now, the significance of this little shield thing is supposed to, you know, depict different eras of Fendi. So it's got like the FF print, it's got the little pinstripe thing that they're actually doing at the moment with bags, it's got some little squirrel with a nut, and then it's got some double Roman head thing or something like that. 1925 written atop the crop. The whole thing, it's an absolute shambles. And it is giving Hufflepuff vibes, like Harry Potter, which a lot of people agreed that it was giving Harry Potter vibes. Like, Kim Jones, really? For Fendi being a company for 100 years, running that race, and if this is the gold trophy at the end of the race, I'm running backwards because I am just flabbergasted. And I guarantee you that this bag will go into production, but not my shilling baguette, not my bag of sticks, but this will go into production. Fred Flintstone's baguette with all the little tile samples will go into production. And look, universally, a lot of people have said Kim Jones is really putting out some snooze fest collections. Like, look at the Dior men's collection that's just launched. Again, snooze fest. I think Fendi and all the other brands that are working with, you know, Signor Jones maybe should pay him his severance and let him move on, okay? Because they're lackluster. I'm just not impressed. But anyways, hopefully you guys have, you know where I'm coming from. You understand why I'm unhinged. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Surely these bags are not to your liking as well. And if they are, please justify your reasoning, because I'm trying to come up with nice things to say and I am stumped. If you've continued watching this far, please pop a comment down below. You never know, Fendi might be reading the comments. They might be thinking, okay, I'm getting some new ideas from this video. We're gonna put this bag into production. Who knows? But I would love it if you could subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And hopefully in my next video, we have some better news. Take care, everyone. Bye.